All right, we are ready to add the fun things, the ribbons, the snowman. And look at these balls, aren't these great? I love all this kind of stuff. So, first thing we're going to do, I love this ribbon too. First thing we're going to do is make a bow. And for this wreath, I'm going to make it a little bit different. I know I'm always telling y'all how I make my bows with the bow tie and then the X and then the bow tie. But I want my bow to fit right here. So I'm going to make some loops longer where there's room for them and some loops shorter where there's not. So I'm just going to gather up my ribbon and make my first loop. Now in my next ribbon and bows video, I'll show you how you can actually make your bows to fit exactly where they're going. But today I'm just going to make the bow and put it in there because that's kind of a more advanced bow making class. Now it's going to fit like this. So I'm fixing to make a loop that's going to go way down there in the bottom. So I am going to make a long loop. It's going to hang down. And I'm going to twist it and I'm going to go up to the top. And this one's going to come up in here. So I'm going to make a long loop to go up that way. And actually this would be part of the X, except the other two loops in my X are not going to be that long because there's not room for them. Notice I'm pinching it and twisting it, and I always work away from it with my bows. And as I'm making this one, I'm going to hold it up there. I'm going to make even one more longer one, hanging out the bottom. I'll twist this, and I'm going to make 2 streamers. I'll pull it down, and I'm just going to fold it back up, and I'll cut it later, and that'll make 2 of my streamers. Now I know you're thinking, that is a really weird looking bow, huh? But that's the size, the shape that I need for this Deco Mesh wreath. I'm going to use my pipe cleaner like I always do and thread it between my fingers, tie it very tightly, and just use your thumb and your forefinger and pull it as tight as you can pull it and twist it several times. Now the piece that comes out the top, I'm going to leave it long because I'm just going to tuck it in around the top of my wreath. Now that actually is the top of my bow right there. And then I'm going to have 2 streamers at the bottom. So this long loop I've made right here, I'm going to cut into a V. There is the really, really long loop that's going to come out the bottom side. Here's another one kind of long. Now the 2 shorter ones in the middle. And a longer one that'll come out the top. Now this extra piece, I'm just going to hang it over the back of my wreath to get it out of my way while I fit this bow right into this spot where I want it to go. Sometimes it's hard to thread your pipe cleaners through so you can feel them at the back. Oh, I got it. And twist it several times and then poke it back up inside my wreath, kind of underneath my bow. Alright. Now, I'm going to pull these around some. Now, if I had not twisted my pipe cleaner on there really tightly, I wouldn't be able to pull these loops and streamers around like I'm doing now. And see, sometimes you just have to kind of twist them around, especially in Deco Mesh. Putting a bow in a Deco Mesh wreath is a little bit harder because you've already got the loops of your Deco Mesh sticking up there. Your bird right at the window. Now, I'm going to tuck this streamer in. I've got two of these wired ties right here. I'm going to tie them around it. Oh. You just have to work with your ribbon some. And notice I run my fingers down both sides of this wired edge. And I've kind of covered up my let's see. I'm going to tuck this streamer up underneath my Deco Mesh right there because it was hiding this cute little tail with the knot in it that I don't want it to hide. Now up in here I need to look for another spot where I've got some of these wired twist ties. I'm going to gather this and twist it in. Leaves me one little curl. And I'm going to cut the end of it in a V. Let it curl down. First, I think I'm going to put the snowman in. This is the one that we've already got the pipe cleaner in. Yeah, we made 2 holes in his back and threaded it through. So, I want him kind of perched right in here between these 2 big loops. And I'm going to thread my pipe cleaners through and reach around to the back. Pull it. I'm pulling it tightly, but yet I don't want to pull him so tight. You can pull him so tight into your wreath that he'll just get totally buried and then you really won't be able to see. Okay, now we're going to do her. I think I'd like her up kind of at an angle, just a little bit higher than him. So I'm going to make the holes for her a little bit lower than his were. See, I'm just reaching in. If your scissors won't do it with your wire cutters. If the wire cutters don't do it, go back to the scissors. Now, I'm going to tie. I've got 1 1/2 of these. I'm going to tie these together because I don't think one by itself would be enough. See, I just twist them together to make a little bit longer one. And I'm going to thread it through the fabric. Some of these stuffed pieces that you want to use in your wreath, you just can't. Some of them you can put glue on and some you can't. This is one, it's just really soft and fuzzy. It almost feels like it would melt if I tried to put glue on it, so that's why I'm not trying to glue these in. Now I'm going to thread my pipe cleaners through. Just going to come around to the back. That's why I like my easel, because it's open on the back too. And sometimes I just turn it all the way around and work from the back if I'm doing certain things. I've got a lot of extra now. I'm going to cut that off. Okay, so I'm going to hold this up so far and let you see how it looks, in case you can't get a good view from where you are. See, I've got my bow with 3 streamers. I've got my tails of my Deco Mesh with knots in them. I've got these 2 sweet little snow woman and a snowman. I say snowman, they're not snowmen, both of them. Now, I didn't get those at my secret vendor. I actually went to Hobby Lobby last night, and I got these for half price. Oh, everything that I saw that they had that was Christmas was half price. So that's good. I just don't ever get any of my ribbon there. It's a little more expensive even at half price, and I can get this gorgeous, gorgeous ribbon at very, very reasonable prices. Okay, these are the fun things. Now, they're meant to hang like that because they've got the little loop there, but I don't want them to hang that way. I want that to be the bottom. So I'm going to cut the loop off, but I'm also going to put just a little drop of glue. I think that loop was going to hold, but I don't want my string to come all undone. Okay. Now, to get this ball up in there where I want it to go, I'm going to have to put some glue around a pretty wide section of the top of this ball. Notice it's really steaming. Sometimes I let it cool off just a little bit before I try sticking it in, because I know it's probably going to grab somewhere where my hand's going to touch in a minute. I want to wiggle it up in right here. I know you're not going to see the top ball, but you're going to see these hanging out along with the tails of the Deco Mesh that I've got in knots. Now I'm going to hold that for just a minute just to make sure the glue cools off and takes hold. Now I've got 2 more of those I want to put in. So they're going to have to come out of the sides of the bow too. So when you're doing that, you'll see me. I'll just have to work with it and wiggle it around a little bit till I find, yeah, that's going to stay, till I find exactly where I want it to go. Let's see. I don't think I needed to glue that in, did I? It's going to stay. And I really want this one tucked right up in there inside my bow. I love it. Really, Kim's laughing at me. I just love it when it comes together and it looks so good. I'll let that blow. I'm starting to drip a little bit. Okay, I'm going to put it right up in here in this same spot where I had it before. And kind of twist it a little bit as you're pushing it in. That really does look good. You can just use your imagination. Walk around the store and look at cute things like this that you really like. And honestly, when I started today, I knew what colors I was going to use, and I knew what I liked, but I didn't know exactly where I was going to put it, and you won't either. And if you're not sure, you can try it up there without the glue at first. And gosh, if you're putting the Deco Mesh in your wreath, it's really easy to untie those little twist ties and put them back in there again. Tie it, if one loop is fatter and the other is smaller. I'm trying to let this dry a little bit. Now, I want this to come out of right there, you think? Kim's got a better view than me. I want it to be up a little bit higher, but still out of my bow. Yeah, that's it. Okay, now I'm going to hold it up again and let you see how that bottom looks. That's different. A lot of the Deco Mesh are just in a round circle with, sometimes they have the streamers hanging down, sometimes not. But I love these hanging down. I love this. I love the knots. Let's see what else we can do that's a little different today. Okay, I'm going to clean off the counter again, and we're going to get some more stuff to put in this beautiful wreath.